Hey, what's up you guys? It's Lexi DIY and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I am sitting at my desk editing and I realized I forgot to film an intro and an outro for this video. Love that for me. Anyway, I'm so excited you're here. Today is part 2 of our extreme kitchen makeover and we're gonna be doing the backsplash today. Now, I thought I could fit all of this into 2 parts, but you guys know I always highly underestimate the amount of time and work that it's going to be, so it's probably going to be in 3 or 4 parts. I'll let you know next week. But let's go ahead and hop into today's video. Okay, so let's get to tiling our first backsplash together. I got these little side profiles essentially so that you don't see like the tops and the edges of the tiles. They were a little bit more tricky to figure out than I thought, so I decided to leave them for later. And what you're seeing me use is called muscle bound tile adhesive. Now, this is essentially a big double-sided sticker that is made for tile application, and in my opinion, it was a lot easier to work with than mortar. I did use mortar in my bathroom, and although I probably wouldn't use this tile adhesive for like a shower, it does say that you can use it for the shower as long as you don't use it for the shower pan because it can't handle anything that's submerged, but I don't know about that. Anyway, so I'm also using this tile like score and snap system. It was only like $25, so I just went ahead and purchased it. And it's a lot easier to work with, but this only really works for ceramic tile and porcelain tile, not like real stone, just so that you know. And I had spent a lot of time getting some like template pieces because I knew that a lot of my pieces underneath the cabinets were going to be the same size, and as I'm going, I'm just peeling back that other side of the sticker and I am sticking my tiles on. I'm using my laser level to just make sure that everything is level, and of course I'm putting my little rubber spacers in between. The really great thing about the muscle bound is that it's pretty forgiving, so I could pull the tiles off as long as I didn't press them on super hard at the beginning if I wanted to change the position a little bit. And I found that the best way to do this, because when I did have a little bit of trouble initially, I'm not gonna lie, when I was trying to put it on the smaller walls, I found that it was best if you started from the bottom and rolled upwards and then cut it with the utility blade. On these larger walls, I really had no issue putting it on. It was just under the cabinets. It was kind of like sticking to the top of the cabinets or the countertops, and that was kind of difficult. But once you get a hang of it, it's actually like super easy and goes really, really quickly. And then you just use the utility blade to score around all of the outlets. Now, I do wish I would have taken this little ledge that my shelf sat on off, but I was thinking I could just put my shelf right back on and tile around it. Then I realized, hello Lexi, the shelf is not going to fit on there because it's going to be flush with the tile. So I did end up taking that down, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get to that. And then again, I am just cutting some template pieces to go ahead and lay everything out on this large wall so I can get a good idea of what cuts I'm gonna have to do. So that's why I'm laying them out with the spacers. I also used really small pieces that were, you know, the correct length behind the sink so I could get an accurate you know, spacing. And the reason that you want to lay everything out beforehand is you just want to make sure that you're not going to have any of like these very tiny little sliver cuts, if that makes sense. So once I had determined my pattern and that I didn't have any of those little tiny sliver cuts, then I started to just peel everything back and put them up on my wall. Now, my countertop wasn't extremely level. It wasn't like too off, if I'm being honest, but it wasn't the best. So I was being really particular and making sure the first layer of tile was level. A lot of people told me to go like straight up the wall and not do like from left to right like a first layer of tile, but I wanted to make sure that everything was even. So that's why I did it this way. And then the laser levels really helped, except the one that I am using there, it has like an air thing in it, and the batteries kept dying, and it kept scaring me because it was like falling off the wall randomly like 10 minutes after I changed the batteries. So maybe get a different one than that, but definitely use the laser level. And then basically I'm just repeating the process, putting in all of my spacers, and this part went super fast. Anything that didn't have to do with the cut pieces was really quick to do, but when it came to actually like having to cut the pieces and make sure everything was level with those pieces, that's when it got a little bit more tricky. Also guys, I know that my posting schedule has been kind of weird, and I just wanted to touch on that. So normally I upload on Sundays, but honestly we have so much going on and we only have a few more months in the house, and I'm really kind of struggling with everything, to be honest. You know, I'm really proud of everything that we've done so far, but at the same time I'm looking around and thinking, wow, there are still so many projects left to do before this house is ready to get put on the market, and we just don't have that much time. So if my posting schedule is a little crazy over the next few months, please bear with me. I am doing my best. There will definitely still be one video every week. I just can't say that it will always be on Sunday, which I know is kind of frustrating because, you know, even I like having my more routine. I'm going to keep trying to make it, you know, my post days on Sunday, but yeah, life of a crazy content creator, let me tell ya. So anyway, what you're seeing me use here is some little tile clippers, and those were really helpful for when I needed to get a little sliver off, because if you tried to get a small little piece off with the score and snap system, it would actually crack the entire tile, which was super frustrating. So if you are going to be doing a tile job, I highly recommend those. They were a really great help. I just want to give a heads up. My dogs are definitely crunching on their food in the background, but frankly, I need to get this video done and up, so, you know, we just gotta deal with what we gotta deal with. Anyway, after I had put like basically all of the final pieces up, I went back and did my cut pieces. I did end up using my multi-tool to go ahead and take a piece of the trim on the window out. That way I could just slide the tile behind. It would give a much more clean look, and I wouldn't have like the weirdest, wonkiest tile cut. So highly recommend doing it that way. Then I went and put my muscle bound on, you know, the wall that it wasn't on. Like I said, especially under cabinets, I highly recommend going from bottom to top. But if you have a lot of room, you can also go like top to bottom. I just wouldn't do that if you like are going to have a surface that it will connect to, if that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, so it's super easy. I just pull off that tile bound sticker and I stick them on. Now, like I said before, you can take them off if you're able to get like a butter knife or something thin behind it to pull it off, but you might snap the tile. So I recommend not pushing them all the way on at first, just kind of like resting it up against it, if that makes sense. And then once you're sure that it's all level and good to go, then you really give it a good press. But honestly, this stuff works amazing. And another really great feature, which I didn't do, but you can do, is you can actually grout the exact same day that you put it up on the muscle bound adhesive. Then it was time for me to take down this old like exhaust fan over the stove that actually like did not work, and I made sure that the electricity was off and I snipped those wires. We are actually going to be replacing this with a microwave that is smaller than your standard microwave. It's a little bit thinner, and it's meant to fit in where a normal range would fit in instead of like a full-size microwave. But I'm having a little bit of trouble installing it, although I'm not going to get to that in this video, so I guess we'll talk about that next week. But yeah, this part was pretty straightforward. I'm just doing the same thing again, cutting that little portion of the trim out so I can slide the tile behind. I kind of wish I would have noticed this before. I would have done the half pieces here, but I really didn't notice that when I had laid them out. So yeah, maybe take that into account if you're gonna do this as well and you have a window that you're going to need to cut tile around. But then I took out all of my spacers and I started to wet the tile and go ahead and push my grout in. So essentially what I'm doing is just pushing the grout in with my grout float and then wiping away the excess with a damp sponge. It does leave it a little hazy, so you'll see me go back here in a bit and you know, like go over all of them with a sponge and clean water. But this part, it's pretty easy. It is like a little rough on the wrist, I'm not gonna lie. It's a good workout, but definitely goes a lot faster than the actual tiling process itself. And I chose to go with white grout because I just wanted it to be kind of like a clean, classic look. I know that Subway tile is kind of, you know, clean and classic, but I picked a more handmade looking one that I feel makes it look a little bit more like organic modern. And I also ran it in this, you know, vertical pattern instead of horizontally. So I wanted to have that really good mix of modern and traditional, and I feel like the white grout really did well with that. But black grout would have looked really great with this too. There's Rick. And anyway, so yeah, then I went back and I did a clean wipe with some fresh water to get all of that excess grout off so that the tiles would look shiny again. Thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end of today's video. So I'm not going to show you the before and after yet because there are a few little things here and there that need to be like touched up and finished, and I really want to save the big reveal for the final video, so I hope you guys aren't too upset with me about that. But I'm really loving how the backsplash turned out, and I'm wondering if you guys like it too. So make sure to drop me a comment and let me know what you think of it, and with the kitchen overall so far, I'm really curious to know. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and ring that bell notification so that you never miss when I upload next, as well as follow me on all my other social medias if you happen to have them. They'll be linked here on the screen and in the description box below. But that's it for me today, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!